Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Coming up on the program today, fuel queues resurface in Lagos and other parts of the country as marketers are caught hoarding PMS. Pensioners in Kwara State demand payment of a backlog of arrears. And agrarian communities in Imo State appeal to the state government to provide them with basic amenities. Welcome to the program. Well, just as Nigerians heaved a sigh of relief after fuel supply was restored last week, fuel queues are back to the petrol stations in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, as well as other parts of the country, following the industrial action declared by oil workers. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASAN, last week threatened to embark on an indefinite strike beginning from today. The union's action follows the expiration of an ultimatum giving to the federal government to address issues they consider detrimental to the welfare of their members. In a statement, PENGASAN ordered the shutting down of all oil and gas installations, resulting in the disruption of fuel supply and distribution across the country. PENGASAN is alleging anti-labor practices against some of its members by some indigenous oil companies, sacking of workers by one of the oil companies due to their involvement in union activities, and non-remittance of workers' taxes to the PFAs by the same company. PENGASAN spokesman Fortune Obi told Channels Television that the strike became inevitable following the failure of the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibeka Chukwu, to resolve the industrial dispute. But last week, many woke up to long queues at petrol stations in some cities across Nigeria, with the independent marketers and the NNPC trading blame on the cause of the scarcity.
Unnecessary hardship on people is not nice, especially at this Yuletide season. A lot of people want to travel, but because of this fuel situation, it's not good at all. The federal government should do something about it, just to lessen the suffering of people. It's not good. You can see now, I see sun now, people inside sun. I have other things I'm supposed to be doing now, but since I don't have fuel, I have to queue and get it.
I've been to both AYA, Caro, then Total at area 11 before coming down here. It was someone that told me that I should come here, that the queue here is not much. So it's not possible for me to be happy going around to look for fuel. Look at my tank. Look at the lights already. Even though I don't have money to buy full tank, but the little I want to buy can still take me for some time.
Meanwhile, operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Osun State Command, have apprehended some marketers in Ilesha town for hoarding premium motor spirit, while others were caught selling above the approved pump price. The State Commandant of the Corps gave the arrest order during an inspection of stations around the state.
As if it's not bad enough that queues have resurfaced at filling stations in parts of the country, some marketers are still hoarding the product, making the situation worse. The artificial scarcity seems to be spreading fast, and the Osun State Command of the NSCDC wants to correct this. The task force is monitoring compliance to the federal government's directive that fuel be sold to customers and at the controlled price, but it finds that the marketers are disregarding this. At this station in Ilesha, the pump price has been altered to 150 naira per litre. In another area, motorists are buying at the rate of 160 naira. The petrol station attendant says she's just following orders.
Yesterday I bought it here 160. I trust myself. I bought it 160, but now as I see you now, they said for 150 naira.
It's not our fault. Our manager said we should be selling it that price. We are selling 150 now.
Yet at another station, it was discovered that there's over 9,000 litres of PMS, which the station refuses to sell.
The nurses just have a vote now. So I've called an engineer and come and visit. And the engineer is coming from Osogbo. That's why we are stopping selling it.
The state commandant of the NSCDC says his men will continue to apprehend defaulters. The NSCDC hopes the continued clampdown on erring marketers by enforcement agencies will discourage others from doing the same and bring the artificial scarcity to an end.
Staff of the Federal Housing Authority in Abuja have embarked on a 3-day warning strike over non-payment of salary arrears. According to the protesters, the staff of the agency have not been promoted since 2011. The protesting workers are calling on the Minister of Works and Housing to intervene and resolve the issue. However, the Managing Director of the Federal Housing Authority insists that the management of FHA is doing all it can to address the issues raised by these protesters.
We are commencing the 3-day warning strike today. If government is ready, we're equally ready. To houses for poor masses of this country, I think we deserve a better.
We are under Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. The ministry directed our management that they should implement this promotion. But up to now, we are still dilly-dallying on the issue. We wrote to management, follow all due diligence, giving them enough ultimatums. We started from 30 days, we went to 14 days. They called us for a meeting that all these things should be implemented on by November 30th. But here we are up to now, we are still buying time. For that, we are registering a 3-day warning strike. If government and our management didn't do anything, it is from there that we will know our next line of action. But for now, we are declaring this 3-day strike from today.
Well, this time it's not about strike, but concerned pensioners in Kwara State. They are calling for the payment of the outstanding balance of over 1,600 million naira as part of an agreement signed with the Kwara State government 15 years ago. The Kwara State government is, however, saying that it has paid and agreed so far. A payment was agreed by the body of the pensioners and that it cannot borrow money to offset gratuities alone.
It all started 15 years ago when the state government and pensioners signed an agreement. But it seems the deal went sour when the state government reneged on its part, as alleged by the affected workers.
We negotiated with them and they agreed with the incumbent governor of Kwara State, Ahmed. He was then commissioner for finance. So we sat down together to iron things out, and they now decided to go and borrow this money from Intercontinental Bank, which they did. They collected 3.3 billion naira. When the pressure was mounted on them again, because they didn't want to release the money again, they now decided to pay 50% of it, representing 1.68 billion naira. And immediately they paid this money, the then head of service, Alhaji Dabarako, went to the press and addressed the state that the remaining 1.68 billion naira will be used to develop infrastructure in Kwara State.
Concerned pensioners in Kwara State are now protesting against what they describe as an illegal withholding of their pension arrears.
The effect, this non-payment of this benefit to Kwara State pensioners is enormous. We are dying on a daily basis. Our people are dying. People are critically ill. In fact, as I speak with you now, there are some people on wheelbarrow at the post office, at the Ojoba market. If you get there now, you will see them soliciting for money to use to buy drug, to keep their hope alive.
The state government's version of the story is quite different.
The state government did not borrow any sum for them at that time. They borrowed money, but there was an agreement. It was an agreement between the two parties. This is the sum that is owed, but the state government cannot. It wasn't the sum did not accrue during the administration of Dr. Bukola. It accrued over successive 4, 5, and back to the military era.
So the two parties agreed for that sum. And that is why you keep hearing concerned pensioners. You will not hear it from the body of the pensioners because they know what they signed.
But there is a willingness on the part of the government to settle things.
I want to appeal to them, let us go back to the tables if we can and talk about this.
It is not clear if the aggrieved pensioners will heed the call to meet with the state government, but the state says it will be in their best interest if all issues are tabled properly.
When news across Nigeria returns, we'll be going to Cross River State to find out what the Nigeria Labour Congress is asking from the government. Please stay with us.